And welcome back, everyone, to Inside the 20 by 20. Our coverage of AEW this week starts off with AEW Dynamite live from the Canada Life Center. No attendance given on cagematch.net. Not sure why, but maybe for Rampage they have. But coming from
There wasn't a lot of people there.
Winnipeg, Manitoba, the home of Chris Jericho, the original home of Chris Jericho. And yeah, AEW Dynamite number 239 kicked off with Tony Khan with a neck brace.
Yes.
Saying
Moving his neck from his home office in Jacksonville.
From his home office. Clip cut short by the Young Bucks, who played a new intro for Dynamite. Pretty cool intro for Dynamite. We went live to the arena. Swerve Strickland made his way out with, of course, Prince Nana. He brought up Double or Nothing and said he doesn't know who he will face at the pay-per-view yet. Then the Young Bucks appear on the screen. They say they have an opponent for him, and Christian Cage's music hits. He comes out with the patriarchy. And without saying a word, Cage attacks Swerve. Drops him on the title with a kill switch. Nick Wayne even hit Prince Nana with his finisher. Christian promises to win the world title and give Swerve's daughter a new dad she could be proud of. Wow.
Yo,
yeah, that gimmick honestly gonna get Christian killed.
Why?
It's bad. It's so good, but so bad.
I'm not sure why he's getting a title shot out of nowhere after being away for several weeks, but I guess it was a good way to set up the feud.
Because he's Christian Cage.
Yeah, I guess so. Then, of course, Adam Copeland's open challenge continues. He opens open challenge goes out to any member of the House of Black, and this time Buddy Matthews comes out for his title shot.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley's husband comes out.
That's right. Good work in this bout.
Dude, he's getting so jacked.
Yo, but
it's
21-minute match is pretty solid match.
No, that was a good match.
21 minutes. Yeah. Adam Copeland defeats Buddy Matthews. Interesting to see how long AEW can go without putting Edge and Christian
in a tag team match?
Something together.
Well, they just finished the TNT rivalry.
Yeah.
Oh, I was there for that one. That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, so that match was actually a pretty good match. It was good to see Aleister Black show up at the end, or Malachi Black, excuse me. You know, as Edge was gonna go hit him with the concerto, he was like, "Do it, go ahead, do it." And Edge is like, no, like, well, why are you telling me this? Like, he was so surprised that he was telling him to hit his own man, and it was the funniest thing.
Yeah. Then in his first match since losing the world title, Samoa Joe took on Private Party's Isaiah Cassidy. Crowd begins chanting, "Joe's gonna kill you," of course.
I don't get how Joe could be the AEW champion, but then have a second match, like the second match of a night. He should. I don't know. For me, I would put him more at the end.
Well, he was going up against Zay. You know, you're fighting someone like Brother Zay, and you're a former world champion. Believe me, it's a squash match.
3 minutes and 29 seconds. Joe gets the dub. Chris Jericho versus Shibata. Also another backstage segment with Orange Cassidy, saying that Chuck Taylor was told he would never be able to wrestle again following Trent Beretta's attack on him. Trent?
That was actually in the ring. That wasn't backstage.
Oh, sorry. He was about to threaten Beretta. When he shows up, Cassidy tries to go after him, but security holds him back as his former friend yells at him. Don Callis comes out and says something to Cassidy before leading him backstage. Don Callis and Orange Cassidy? Maybe this is what Orange Cassidy needs. A little shot in the arm for his gimmick, because it's scaling up. But this might be.
Think about it. What is the main ingredient in a screwdriver?
Juice.
Orange juice.
Oh, I was getting by.
And what did Don Callis hit people in the head with? A screwdriver.
Oh.
Wow.
That's like some chess gameplay right there.
Yeah. I can't wrap my head around it, so I'm gonna move on. The next match.
He wasn't called Cyrus the Virus for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
I caught it. The next match saw Shibata challenge Chris Jericho for the FTW title. Jericho acting like a babyface in an attempt to get more heat. He even wore a jacket with a logo for the Winnipeg Jets and had his dad in the crowd.
Like, listen, Jericho's been around for a while.
Yeah.
The learning tree.
Yeah. I don't know,
Shibata did Shibata stuff.
Yeah, it's gotta end eventually, right?
Yeah, he has to
disappear for a little bit.
It was a
make us miss him for a while.
It was a fun match. Please. It was a fun match. Big Bill shows up, attacks Shibata to help Jericho retain.
Good old Billy.
15 minutes, 26 seconds. Jericho gets the dub.
But the next match, I gotta say,
Cage and Castagnoli.
Yeah, my boy Claudio always puts on.
They had to give Claudio a dub after that loss to Ospreay the week before. Pretty sure.
Very true. Yeah, very true.
I mean, but honestly, I hate the fact that they're squashing Brian Cage so often.
I mean, 10-minute match. 10-minute match.
I was gonna say 10-minute match is not really a squash.
No, what I'm saying is like he keeps losing.
Yeah.
Very true.
I mean,
just sad.
Yeah, I agree. Then we had final match of the Dynamite portion of the show featured Mariah May taking on a woman who intends to win the world title, Serena Deeb. Deeb defeats Mariah May by referee's decision. 10 minutes and
which is
31
very
seconds.
Odd. Which I've never seen before. Have you ever seen a ref's decision in a wrestling match?
Deeb blocks May in a submission, but she refused to tap out, so Toni Storm threw in the towel to save her friend from suffering too much damage.
Yeah, the manager gave up.
Submission.
Threw in the towel.
I don't know why it said
referee. I like it. No, I'm just saying I like it. It's something different. I like it.
And then after the final match, the return
the music hits
of Kenny Omega. Announcer Justin Roberts gives him a nice long introduction. Now, the cleaner says he isn't good about talking about injuries, but spoke about being diagnosed with diverticulitis. He said he was 24 hours from death and was scared he would never, ever be able to wrestle again. He said he's going to make sure he's able to come back eventually, but then he moved on to the Young Bucks. Said he's still an EVP, retained some power, which brought out Okada. Omega said if Okada gives him a few months, they can settle their feud in an AEW ring. And then, the scapegoat, Jack Perry, attacks him from behind, while Okada grabs a chair. The Best Bout Machine ends up taking Perry out, but seemed to be in pain after he did it. Perry ends up hitting him in the gut with the chair before the Bucks arrive. They hit the EVP trigger before FTR comes out to make the save. I believe later on, I'm not sure if it happens on Rampage or if this was a thing that wasn't seen, but I know that when they were loading Kenny into the ambulance, they attacked him again.
It was actually the end of the show. It was the end of the show, beginning of Rampage. So like they transitioned into the beginning of Rampage while they were wheeling him into the ambulance.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, that was the end of Dynamite. First match on Rampage saw Jay White take on Dante Martin. Let me just bring up some stuff here real quick. Yeah, you're right. So Okada and the Bucks did attack FTR as Omega was being taken into the ambulance. They dumped him on the stretcher before finally leaving. So where do you see is Kenny really is it a work at this point?
It's a work at this point.
Because they can't mess with him like that.
Allow him to be
exactly. I would.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow him to be injured like that without being medically cleared to wrestle.
Right, and they were manhandling him pretty rough on that.
They were handling
aggressively,
pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
So first match of the night, Jay White defeats Dante Martin, 9 minutes 27 seconds. Not much. I mean, anything there?
I mean, that was a pretty okay match. Again, I feel like Jay White is definitely being wasted.
Yeah.
As a tag team competitor or a trios tag team competitor. He at least needs a singles title. It doesn't necessarily have to be the world title.
Yeah.
Hell, give him the ROH world title. Since that belt practically means nothing nowadays. But,
upsetting.
Let him run his squad the way he should.
Right. Then we had, after issuing the challenge during Dynamite, Rocky Romero and Kyle O'Reilly had met for a singles match. Excalibur talked about the long history between them as opponents. Great display of pro wrestling between two well-respected veterans. 10-minute match. O'Reilly gets the dub over Romero. Then we got
Asukar.
Okay.
His name is Rocky Asukar Romero.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Asukar.
No, not Asuka. That would be too. Too Hispanic.
Azukar?
Get
out of here.
Asukar.
Get out of here with that.
Azukar.
Then we got a promo video from Roosh to establish him as a solo act. Roosh. And then in the final match for Rampage, we had Willow Nightingale take on Sky Blue. Willow Nightingale picks up the dub, 10 minutes, 40 seconds. Couple of painful bumps here. Tables, chairs, and tacks. Barbed wire. Powerbomb through barbed wire and tables.
Yep.
Pretty cool. What do you guys say? Final word on AEW this week in total. Obviously, I'm happy that Kenny's back. That was the big story. And
that was the biggest.
Him versus Okada, right?
If Kenny were to step into the role that Cody had, I think Tony Khan can be better managed to make a good wrestling promotion.
That's actually really good take.
Yeah.
He needs that experience and someone telling him this isn't a toy, this is a wrestling business.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, guys. Well, that's AEW for the week. When we come back, we're going to talk Friday Night SmackDown, the go-home show before Backlash. Stick around. More inside the 20x20 right after these short commercial messages.
Short.